So this is slightly different to my normal videos. Today I thought I'd do a simple video on answering some of the questions that I get asked. There's no right or wrong reasons, it's just what I prefer in my van and why I'm having them in my van because it suits my purposes. That could be different to anybody else's purposes, but all my questions and answers will be clear during the video. Hi, I get a lot of questions about my van build, so I thought I'd do the top 10 questions I get asked the most. So question 1, why a medium wheelbase van? Basically it's because I probably use it more than if I had a long wheelbase van. I use it as a day van as well as a camper van. It's easy to park anywhere. I do a lot of kayaking and a lot of biking, and this year I'm going to do a lot of paragliding, so I just need to be able to get into places and not worry about parking such a long van. I can also carry more of a payload than a long wheelbase van. I like going to Wales, the Lake District, Scotland, and I've seen a lot of vans and motorhomes struggle up hills. So I thought I'd get a medium wheelbase and that will suit my purposes better. I was quite lucky because when I got this van it was the 180 brake horsepower, I think it's the 177 PS with the twin turbo engine, so it's got plenty of power to help me do that. Maybe if I was living full-time in a van I'd probably get a long wheelbase just because they're about a metre longer and obviously you can store a lot more in it, and I'd probably have an internal shower, etc. I was originally looking for the 4Motion van, that's the 4-wheel drive version, but then I found out they're about 100mm or 4 inches lower inside, so once you've got the insulation on and the headliner, I think I'm going to be crouching down a bit low being 6 foot. And also, do I really need a 4-wheel drive? The amount of time I'd use it is quite minimum, and it probably uses a lot more fuel, and it also weighs a lot extra, so you've got that lot less payload. Okay, so question 2. Why did I go for the bonded glass windows? I just prefer the look of them rather than the caravan type windows. I like the way they fill the contours of the van, and also if I put side pods at any time, that would just blend in much better with the bonded windows. And I've seen some of the caravan type windows, because they're under plastic, they deteriorate after some time. So that's the reason why I've gone for those. The negative points with the glass bonded windows is they aren't double glazed, but again I don't intend going anywhere that's cold. And also another reason why I like the glazed windows because they're obviously bigger, so you can see a lot more out of them as well. Number 3, why don't I have any extraction fans? I do a lot of kayaking, so I carry the kayaks on the roof, so I need that space on the roof. I did worry about that first, not having any kind of ventilation fans, but I used it all summer and it didn't seem a problem. If I wanted more air, I've got a big sliding door I can open, and I have got windows on the small side windows as well. I've got openers on the small side windows as well. So yeah, that's the reason. Number 4, why an electric bed lift? Basically, I use the van for multi-uses, so if I want to get my bikes inside I can just raise the bed at a touch of a button. If I need to get anywhere underneath I can easily do that, and it's somewhere I could sit during the day if I want to, if the weather's bad. But yeah, and then also I just wanted to build a electric bed lift just to see how easy it was to build. Number 5, why no sink? I don't have any water inside the van at all. I've got my storage water outside underneath the van. I think that was in my last video 2 ago. And I've seen so many people with burst pipes, especially with water heaters. Sometimes the heating and the cooling down constantly can make the joints weak. So, and I had a friend who had a burst pipe and he had to rip out the whole inside of his van just to get all the water from underneath the flooring. I've got my JOOLCA hot water system outside the van, so if I need hot water and shower and do the washing up, that is where I'll do it. Everything outside the van. Number 6, why no heating inside the van? I'm starting my refit this week, so I will be installing probably a 4 kilowatt diesel heater. There's a few evenings towards the end of the summer where I thought I could do with one. Lucky enough I'd hook up, and I've got an electric oil filled heater, so I use that, but I will be installing a diesel heater on this refit. Number 7, A few people notice I don't have an inverter or 240 power in the van. I do have a DJI Power 1000, I think it's called, which has an inverter and a lithium battery, so I've been using that. But during my refit and my power upgrade, I'll be installing a big Victron system with an inverter. Number 8, why did I keep my double seats rather than a single seat? Well, I've just put a swivel seat, that's in my last video, and it's just more comfortable having a double seat in the back that swivels. It gives me more space, and when I'm driving I've got the fold down table as well to put my drinks, phone, etc. on. And another reason, I won't have to notify the DVLA of like a change of number of seats and my insurance company. Question number 9, why did I go for that wood look finish? Well, that's all going to change during my refit. I want to get the van done quickly because I started it last winter and I needed it for the summer. So I could test out what works for me and what don't work for me. And I didn't want to spend a fortune on the interior if I'm going to change it. But there are a few changes I'm going to make. So that'll be coming up in future videos very soon. I think I'm starting it next week. I'm going for a more quality finish. You can see the board behind me, which I'm going to use. It's like a laminate face grey, and I'm going to use like black edging. But I'll be going through that on my next video. Question 10. Why don't I have any cooking facilities in the van? Again, this summer I just was using it to test what works for me and what don't work for me. I do most of the cooking outside anyway, using the barbecue or these little gas heaters, and I don't really want to cook inside because it's all fat and splashes everywhere. But saying that, during my refit I'm thinking of installing a induction hob to work for my power upgrade, and they're quite small and they don't take much room, so I'd like to have different choices. Right, so that's all my questions, but there was one more question I just thought of, so I'm going to call that number 11. Why did I use carpet in the van? The reason why I used the carpet, like side panels, rather than this like suede material everyone's using at the moment, is because carpet is a good sound absorber, even though it's also thermal properties as well. It does absorb sound. I did notice that in the evenings in the van this year, it was really quiet inside, so I'm going to stick with the carpet liner. Okay, so that's my top 10/11 questions I get asked. If you can think of anything else, drop them in the comments. So next week I start my refit and my electrical upgrade, so hope to see you on that one, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.